Your organization has successfully achieved ISO 27001 certification, and you're wondering what the next step is. Maybe you've looked at ISO 27701 and you think, hey, that's a good option for my business. We process personal information, but you're concerned about what the pricing entails. In this video, we'll walk through the pricing of ISO 27701 certification and discuss the factors that could influence that cost. Hi, I'm Chris Lippert, the Senior Manager at Schellman, and I head up the privacy practice here at the firm. I've been in the industry for over 10 years now, so I've seen the privacy industry go from nothing to what it is today thanks to the GDPR. So you're interested in ISO 27701 certification. Our pricing for ISO 27701 certification typically ranges from $12,000 to $30,000. Let's break down what goes into that pricing and some of the considerations that we have to walk through there. The first factor relates to the fact that, similar to ISO 27001 certification, there is going to be a difference in pricing each year based on the type of assessment that your organization is going through for that certification. There's the initial certification, there's the surveillance, and then there's the recertification. So depending on which year your organization is in, there could be a little bit of a variable with pricing there, because based on those ISO standards, there's a different requirement on our side with the amount of time that we have to spend on site with you. The second factor that goes into pricing for the ISO 27701 certification relates to the role of the organization. The role of the organization was not a consideration under ISO 27001 with the Information Security Management System, known as the ISMS, but it is a consideration with the Privacy Information Management System, known as the PIMS. Under ISO 27701, you can either certify as a controller, a processor, or both. Now, based on which role you fall into for ISO 27701 determines the amount of requirements that come into scope that we will need to look at for your organization and the services in scope. So there are 18 for Clause 8, which relates to processor. There are 31 for controller for Clause 7. Now, in addition to the different number of requirements therein, we also have additional requirements on our side as far as the amount of auditor time that is required for those roles. They are certain percentages based on the ISMS audit time allotment already had. So depending on the role that you select or the role that is applicable, we could be looking at adding a fifth of the time, we could be looking at adding a half of the time. So there's a little bit of a fluctuation there between those roles and the time that we are required to spend on site with you. So the price range of $12,000 to $30,000 for ISO 27701 seems a little bit open-ended. What we can do with our privacy team is walk through a scoping exercise with you, go through a scoping questionnaire for ISO, and get you more accurate information in achieving that ISO 27701 certification. For more information, go to our website, fill out our Contact Us form, and one of our privacy team members will be reaching out to you to walk through that scoping exercise and determine next steps.